and welcome to Outside the Doghouse. I'm Bill Thomas.
And I'm Ross McNamara.
This is a weekly show about the Leominster Wachusett Dirt Dogs, a new collegiate summer baseball team that's playing at historic Doyle Field in Leominster, Mass. Ross, why don't you fill in our viewers a little bit about who and what the Dirt Dogs are?
Team is full of collegiate players. There's a few that just graduated high school in the league, but mostly all college players with at least 1 year left of college eligibility. They come from all over. Every team in the league has to be at least 50%. The players have to be from the New England area, so it's really focused on giving kids in New England just a chance to play, a chance to showcase their stuff. You know, other parts of the country they can play year round, and it's tough to do that up here. And so this is a chance for them to really show what they have and try to play for some scouts and hopefully one day live the dream and be drafted.
Ross, we have a lot of social media components associated with the team. Why don't you inform our viewers a little bit about how they can get involved with the team?
Yeah, through our Facebook page, it's Wachusett Dirt Dogs, and through our Twitter at Dawg, DAWG_PEN, at DogPen. You can follow us throughout the week, throughout games. Throughout the games, you can get updates through the Twitter account. On our Facebook page, you can get our starting lineup. You can get our promo coupons for maybe that night. We might be run a certain promotion. You go to the Facebook page, print out the coupon, bring that in, and have something discounted at the game, whether it's a free ticket, a half-price ticket, a free hot dog, something along those lines. You go check that out. We have our post-game wrap-ups on there. And so we try to involve the team with the fans, be as integrated as possible. And so if you get on our social media, our Facebook, our Twitter, and our team blog, which can be found through our website, www.dirtdogsball.com, you can really be involved and stay connected with the team all throughout the week.
Also, if they want to follow the team as it's playing live in the in the home games actually, or away games, because every team has a streaming feed, how can the fans stay connected?
If you go to our website, on the multimedia tab, there's a live radio feed link, and if you just click on that, you can follow the game live. So, you know, if you can't make it down to Doyle for a home game, or if they're on the road and you just want to see how they're doing, click on that link and you get a live radio broadcast. And there's also a Gamecast online as well. It shows you kind of the pitchers and where the ball's hit and a box score, so you can really follow the team if you can't be there in person.
I know I was on the league website, the Future Collegiate Baseball League. They have a major website that follows all the teams, and if somebody is unable to catch a game as it's happening, I believe they can go there and catch an archive game and see and get caught up on what's happened? Yes,
all our radio feeds are archived on the site from the first game on. And you can then go back and listen to a game. So, you know, you're busy one night, but you wanted to figure out what happened. You can go back the next day and go to the archived links and listen to them then.
Speaking of archive links and what's happened in the past week, bring us up to speed on how the Dirt Dogs have been doing since we last got together.
They got off to a rough start at the beginning of the week. They lost to Nashua 9-1 on Tuesday. Lost to Brockton 19-0 on Wednesday, and lost to North Shore 5-10 on Thursday. But then Friday, things got turned around a little bit. They beat the Torrington Titans 7-1 with 3 home runs. Shane Keddy and Jack St. Clair both hit 2-run home runs in the 4th inning. And then in the 7th inning, Isanda Figueroa hit a 3-run home run. Derek Dragg got the start of that game and pitched tremendously. He went 6 2/3 innings, only gave 4 hits, didn't allow any runs. And then Nick Pateris came in relief. He pitched 2 1/3, allowed 3 hits and just 1 earned run for the 7-1 score. But everybody had a good game that day.
You know, you love to see the offense and the pitching click together on the same night. It puts a lot of pressure on when you're not scoring runs. But the 3 home runs generating all the offense, and we were joking at the side table, Isanda got that 3-run home run, and chicken wings for everybody that night, Ross.
Exactly, yes. And then Saturday they lost against Brockton 1-8, and then Sunday was an unofficial game, but they faced the U23 British national team, which we talked about a lot last week on the show, and they did well. They won 18-9, and so it was a great game. At beginning, they had a good lead, and they kind of let the British team get back into it, and then towards they believe the score was around like 8-7 or 8-9, and then they just kind of came through and had a big last couple of innings and really capped off a big win.
You know, during that game, it was an international exhibition game, and we saw a lot of the players get utilized in positions they wouldn't normally play. We saw positional players pitching, pitchers catching, pitchers who usually don't hit, DHing and playing in other positions in the field. It looked like the team in general was just having fun with everything they were allowed to do that day. What was your feeling also watching that game?
I thought that was important. You know, they've got off to a rough start this season, and it's easy to get down on yourselves. And just to have a game like this, just to have fun and get back, you know, kids playing positions they haven't played in years, and just get back to baseball, just having fun, what it's meant to be. And hopefully after that, you know, they'll be able to just get back and keep playing well.
I know we were joking with some of the players that got to hit that don't usually hit. Nick Pateras, I believe, had a 2-run home run.
Yeah.
I asked him if he was, you know, putting a move on the DH spot when he's not pitching, and some of the other players. Brian Menduke also had a pretty good game, scored 4 runs, and he was kind of not used to running the bases and swinging the bat. We were having fun with that, and the players were on the other players too. It was really fun to watch.
It was a fun game.
Also, Ross, we have a baseball camp, our second baseball camp coming up. Let us know about that.
We do. Our last camp ran last week. It went very well. And we have another camp next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the 9th, 11th, and 13th. We have our first baseman, Vinta Scherer, our right fielder and pitcher, John Lefebvre, and our closer, Brian Menduke. They'll be out there teaching the kids just the fundamentals of the game. It's $25 a day or $60 for the week, and it ran really well last time, and we're hoping to have another successful week. So if you want to get involved with that, go to our website, dirtdogsball.com. There's a link there. You can fill out the form, and there's an email address to send to, and sign your kids up for that. That should be a good time.
And speaking of the kids, we've been getting the Little Leagues involved, and I believe on Sunday we have a special event with the Leominster National Little League. It's National Little League Night.
Yes, so far we've had the Leominster American Little League and the Sterling Little League, and we're just trying to get all the Little Leagues to the field. There's a little parade before the game with Digger, the mascot, and then we have baseball buddies where they run onto their positions with a Dirt Dog that plays the same position. We have a couple honorary bat boys, and all of our in-between inning promotions are generally played with the Little Leaguers. And so it gets the kids down there, they're having fun, they're with some of the older baseball players they look up to, and it's a fun night for everybody. The players enjoy being with the little kids, and the Little Leaguers enjoy being with them.
I know, and probably two of the kids that have the most fun are our honorary bat boys, interacting with the teams, running out on the field after every at-bat, and usually they end up with some nice souvenirs, a broken bat and a team ball. And
yes, it's good fun for everybody.
Yeah, sounds like a great time. Come on out, catch us, just watch the kids. The kids are having a blast, and that's really what it's all about. Well, we have a guest with us today, as we have had in past weeks. Would like to introduce Nick Barisi. Nick is the pitching coach for the Wachusett Dirt Dogs. Obviously, first-year pitching coach, first year for everybody with the team. Welcome to Outside the Doghouse, and welcome to Leominster.
Appreciate you guys having me.
A little bit about your background. It's your 3rd year involved in coaching. You're focusing on being a pitching coach because you were a pitcher, a very good pitcher in college. You are currently a pitching coach for the Merrimack College Warriors, but you previously also assistant coaching for your alma mater, St. Anselm College, where you were a standout pitcher. You started for them between 2005 2009. I know that sounds like a long time, but you told us you redshirted 1 year?
I did. I had surgery my sophomore year on my shoulder, so I redshirted that year, and I was able to come back after I received my bachelor's degree in 2009 and play another year.
So you're able to maintain your eligibility, which is good, especially, you hate losing that year. You're in the prime of your youth, basically, in college.
Right, tough to deal with, but I was glad I had an opportunity to come back. That was nice.
It sounds like you had a nice career there. Looking at your bio, you hold school records for most wins. How many?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I really don't know.
Putting you on the spot?
I really don't know. I mean, not to sound humble or anything like that. I try not to get caught up in stuff like that. I know I don't know if I'm necessarily the record holder, but I'm up there in the top of the list.
I'm going to humble you a little bit, Nick. I don't have exact numbers, but school records for most wins, best ERA during your college career, most strikeouts, and most innings pitched. So apparently you were at the top of the staff there, and they relied on you quite heavily.
I think I just, from an early time, had a good opportunity. I was put in a position to start right as a freshman, so I had an opportunity. I certainly struggled early on, and You know, I was able to have some success my last couple of years there, but it wasn't always as good as those numbers make me sound.
Yeah, and I know every college player's dream, actually little leaguers, Babe Ruth and right through high school, they want to play pro ball. For whatever reason, I'm not sure the numbers, maybe 1 out of every 10,000 players might actually make it to the pros, some crazy number. When you look at the amount of kids that play baseball in the United States, the number's probably even bigger than that. But you did have the opportunity to play pro ball over in Europe. You played for the Italian Baseball League. And just curious a little bit about your experience over there.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, awesome experience. In my last year of college, I got a phone call from a guy with a thick Italian accent asking me if I had any interest in coming overseas. And honestly, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was one of my buddies playing a prank on me. But, you know, followed up on that, and after we had a few conversations, turned out it was pretty legitimate. And I got a chance to go over there for 3 months. I was about an hour east of Venice. I got to play there for about 3 months, and unbelievable experience. Absolutely awesome. Probably some of the most fun I've ever had playing baseball in my life.
What's baseball like over there? You know, you hear about players from Asia coming over, from all other parts of the world. You don't hear a lot about players from Europe coming over here to play in the major leagues. Is the culture of baseball there kind of not as big due to the soccer culture?
Yeah, definitely. I think a big part of it was, you know, the way it was structured over there was that our ownership group actually had several different teams. So they had, you know, a baseball team, a soccer team, a volleyball team, and a basketball team. And to be honest with you, the baseball team was probably 4th on that list behind soccer, volleyball, and basketball. So, you know, baseball is definitely secondary, if not, you know, 3rd or 4th on the list over there. But at the same time, you know, a lot of quality baseball. We had some guys from all over the world. We had our shortstop was a kid from Venezuela, played for the Pirates organization for a little while in America. Really good player, a lot of good talent. And I know, you know, there are some other areas in Europe that are pretty good with baseball. I know the Dutch have pretty good programs over there, and it was certainly very competitive baseball. And, you know, definitely a step or two below minor league ball here, even independent league ball over in the States, but, you know, definitely competitive, good quality baseball, and it was a great opportunity for me.
I know the exhibition game that we played this past Sunday against the British national team, under 23 developmental team. They had, I believe, 14 players traveling with them. And the inexperience showed, I believe. They didn't have the pitching. They commented how Doyle Field would have been considered a top-level field. It's not a nice field, but it is a very nice field that we play on, but not what they're used to playing on over in England and in Europe. And your experience on the facilities when you played over there?
They're definitely a notch or two below, but I think it's something that, you know, they recognize and they're trying to get better with it. I know when I was over there, field maintenance and trying to improve the locker rooms, and, you know, they were always asking me what it was like over here and things like that. I think it's just, like I said, it's been their secondary or 3rd sport for so long, and, you know, you go to the soccer fields and the stadiums there, it's unbelievable. It's like a cathedral, and it's, you know, people flock to those places, but it's the same thing here for baseball, football. It just depends on the culture and the sport.
Is there any way to change the culture and increase the passion in Europe or in other parts of the world where, you know, baseball is not the #1 sport, where, like, soccer has not been the #1 sport here, but it's really grown? Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Do you see that happening?
Definitely, and I think, you know, a lot of it is just like what you guys mentioned earlier in the show with social media and getting the word out there and having people understand that, you know, baseball is an easy sport to play. You need a bat, a ball, and a glove, and you know, I think that's part of the appeal of soccer over there, is that it's such an easy sport to pick up. You roll the ball out and you can play, and you know. But baseball is definitely on the rise, and I think it's become a much more global sport, and it's definitely gaining popularity.
It's good to see, too. What is your previous summer baseball experience prior to coming to the Dirt Dogs? Have you coached every summer and you're pretty much in it year-round?
I've coached the last couple summers. This is my first year with the FCBL. Playing-wise, I did a lot of local leagues around. I grew up in Braintree, just south of Boston, so I did the Yawkey League for a year. I've done the Cranberry League, which is a Stan Musial League, which, you know, not necessarily restricting, you know, players to college, or, I mean, it can be any age range of players, but still very competitive baseball. And then I had an opportunity my last couple of years to get a chance to play in the NECBL, which is the New England College Baseball League, which is a very competitive, good league around in the area.
And what have you found are some of the challenges of summer ball? You know, you're dealing with kids that have been playing ball basically since January and February with extended college seasons. A lot of them start their season down south. They're playing 50, 60 games now. And what are the challenges that you've faced as far as avoiding injury or avoiding player burnout?
I think one of the biggest things is trying to continue what the guys had worked on in the spring and the fall with their respective colleges. I think, the big thing is communicating with their coaches and understanding what roles they were in and what kind of burden they had in terms of innings pitched or what their, workload was during the year, and then, trying to fit that as best as I possibly can and try not to put guys too, out of position or, out of their comfort zone and things like that. And, it's tough because you get a lot of guys that I'm putting in positions where, they might have been a starter during the year, now they're a bullpen guy or vice versa. And I think that's one of the toughest things is trying to mold everything together and work with the coaches, because obviously, as much as we all want to win and we're all competitors, the main goal of these leagues is for the kids to have a good experience and to get better and to work for their, like I said, their respective colleges and to go back to their coaches having gotten better over the summer. So that's number one goal, and that's what I'm trying to achieve with these guys every day and make sure they're working hard and trying to stay on focus with what they were doing in the fall and the spring with their colleges.
I see you with a notebook in your back pocket. Chris Logan also is carrying around a notebook, taking notes. Do you have a book on all of your pitches, and do you keep notes, and are you looking to send information back to the college pitching coaches and managers when they get done with the summer?
Yeah, once I started coaching, it's something I didn't necessarily do as a player, but I did things similar to it. You just, as a pitcher, you're constantly keeping a pitching chart or doing something during the game. So, you become a creature of habit, and it's something I've just developed where I have that notebook in the back of my pocket, and anytime I see something or I want to make a note of something, just write it down. And it's a great tool for, talking to the pitchers after games and saying, it's tough. It's a 9-inning game. There's, 27 outs you got to get, and it's tough to remember each